Hey y'all, I'm Valerie and welcome to my kitchen. In today's video, I'm sharing 5 of my all-time favorite no-bake desserts. Now let's go ahead and get started. Okay y'all, this is a good one. It's a mandarin orange dessert. I'm making it in a 9x13 inch baking dish. I'm starting with the crust. I've got 1 stick of melted butter here. And to that, I'm adding 2 sleeves of Crushed Ritz Crackers and 1/4 cup of sugar. Mix that up and then press it down into an even layer. Then I put it in the refrigerator to chill while I work on the filling. In a large mixing bowl, I'm adding 6 ounces of frozen orange juice concentrate. This comes in a 12-ounce container. Now add in a can of sweetened condensed milk and then mix until well combined. Now you're going to add in 8 ounces of whipped topping. Make sure it's thawed out. You can fold that in if you want to, but I've already got my hand mixer out, so I'm using that. You just want to mix it all together. Now I'm going to add in 2 cans of drained Mandarin oranges. Make sure you drain them very well. And you do want to fold those in, that way you don't squish all your oranges. Now you're going to grab that crust out of the refrigerator and pour in that delicious orange mixture. I could seriously just eat this stuff with a spoon. It is that good. I forgot to mention, you do want to reserve about a 1/2 cup of those cracker crumbs from the crust to add as a topping. Now this needs to chill in the fridge for at least 4 hours, or even better, overnight. This has always been one of my favorite desserts. You have got to try it. If you love Oreos, you're going to love this Oreo Chocolate Delight. I've got a family size pack of Oreos, and y'all, I was feeling fancy because I had these instead of the Great Value Twist and Shouts. I did order the Great Value ones, but Walmart was out, so they substituted with the name brand. And of course they did charge me for them, but oh well, I had to have them. I used my food processor to ground them into fine crumbs. Then I added them straight into a 9x13 inch baking dish. Scoop out about a 1/2 cup of those and set them to the side to reserve as a topping. Now you're going to add in 1 stick of melted butter and then mix all that together. Make sure all those cookie crumbs are coated in that butter. Now I'm going to pack it down to form a crust, and I found the easiest way to do this is to use my big measuring cup. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now this goes into the refrigerator to chill while I start on the next layer. To a large mixing bowl, I added 8 ounces of softened cream cheese and 1 cup of powdered sugar. Give that a really good mix. While I'm thinking about it, if you're enjoying this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Okay, back to that dessert. I added in 8 ounces of whipped topping. Make sure it's thawed out. You can fold this in if you want to, but I'm just using my mixer. Now grab that Oreo crust and add that cream cheese mixture right on in there. You'll need to spread that out evenly and gently just to make sure not to disturb that crust on the bottom. Now this goes back into the refrigerator to chill while I make the pudding layer. I'm just using that same bowl I used for the cream cheese mixture. You're going to pour in 2.5 cups of milk and 2 small boxes of the instant chocolate pudding mix. Now mix that together for a couple minutes until that pudding thickens. And make sure you scrape down the bowl so you don't miss anything. Now you're going to grab that dish back out of the fridge and pour in that chocolate pudding. This mixture is pretty thick, but that's how it's supposed to be. And of course, you know the drill. Make sure you spread it out into an even layer. Now this is a 4-layer dessert, so for this final layer, I'm spreading on 8 ounces of whipped topping. I try not to mix the layers together, so it is easier if you spoon over that whipped topping and then gently spread it out. Now I'm topping it with those reserved cookie crumbs from earlier. I found more Oreos in the pantry, so I chopped up a couple and added those to make it look pretty. I covered it with plastic wrap and you'll want to let this chill in the refrigerator for at least 6 hours. But I won't judge you if you dig in before then. I mean, you gotta try it before you serve it to your family, you know? But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, it is delicious. What is your favorite store-bought cookie? Mine's Oreos. My husband, however, he likes those Nutter Butters. This cherry Yum Yum don't last long in my house. To get started, I'm making up a graham cracker crust. To a large mixing bowl, I added 1/3 cup of sugar, 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs, and a stick of melted butter. Now stir that until it's well combined. It should look like wet sand. I'm using a 9 by 9 inch baking dish for this. Now I'm going to pour in only about 2/3 of that crust. I save the rest to sprinkle on top at the end. Spread them out evenly and then pack them down into the bottom of that dish. I put that crust into the refrigerator to chill while I work on the filling. Now to a large bowl, you're going to add in 1 packet of Dream Whip. You can find this where the pudding mix is at the grocery store. I also added in 1/2 cup of milk, and then I mixed it with my electric mixer, because it will take a few minutes. Just continue to do that until that mixture thickens. Next, add in 3/4 cup of sugar, 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Mix it until it's smooth and creamy and that cream cheese is very well combined. If your cream cheese is too cold, it'll be kind of hard to mix and it may be a little on the chunky side. When that's mixed together, grab your graham cracker crust out of the refrigerator and add on 1/2 of that mixture. And just spread that out into an even layer. Now you can really get creative here and add in any kind of filling you like. I'm using a 22-ounce can of cherry pie filling. But I'm sure the apple or the blueberry would be really good too. Are you gonna say hey? Say hey everybody. Okay, back to the recipe. I did make sure I spread out those cherries just to make sure they were evenly distributed. Then I added on the other 1/2 of that Dream Whip mixture. I'm using my offset spatula to spread out this layer. Try not to press down too much, that way you don't move those cherries all over the place. Now grab those reserved graham cracker crumbs and sprinkle them on top. And that is all there is to it. I love making this in the summer, but I also love to make it for Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's so hard not to eat this right away, but it's best if you let it refrigerate for at least 6 hours or overnight before you serve it. This is one of my family's absolute favorite desserts, and if you haven't ever had it, I really hope you give it a try. Now I'm making a super easy 3-ingredient Hershey's chocolate pie. In a large bowl, I'm adding 6 of the regular size Hershey bars. Then you're going to microwave them in 30-second intervals until they're completely melted. They may not look melted, but just give them a good stir. They do melt pretty quick, you just don't want to burn them. My daughter would just eat this with a spoon if I let her. She is a chocoholic. I've got an 8-ounce container of the whipped topping. I just let that thaw in the refrigerator overnight. Just add it in and mix it until it's well combined. This pie is so easy to make. And speaking of pies, it's almost time to start making them soon. What is your favorite? You'll have to let me know in the comments below. I need some new pie recipes to try. I'm using a pre-made graham cracker crust, but you can definitely make your own if you want. Now you're just going to add in that yummy Hershey's chocolate mixture. You could also make this and just pour it in little parfait cups and then sprinkle it with graham cracker crumbs or cookie crumbs or even Oreo crumbs. Just sprinkle those on the top for a cute little dessert. Now this needs to go in the refrigerator to chill for at least 6 hours to set before you serve it. And y'all, I really should have wrote "do not eat" on this pie because this is what I found when I went to get it. And even though it was missing a big piece, I decided to decorate it anyway. I just added on some chocolate hearts, but you can add on a chopped up Hershey bar, chocolate shavings, or even some dollops of whipped topping. This was super simple and easy to make, and look how cute it is. And as you can tell, my family loves it. Sometimes it's just the simplest recipes that are the absolute best. If you love pineapple, you're going to love this Pineapple Delight. I'm starting with the crust. In a medium-sized bowl, I added 2½ cups of graham cracker crumbs and a stick of melted butter. And just stir that until everything is coated in that butter. I'm making this in a 9x9 inch baking dish. I did spray it with nonstick spray. Now I'm pouring in those graham cracker crumbs. Reserve ½ a cup for the topping, then press them down into an even layer. I used the bottom of my measuring cup, but you do want to pack them down tight. I put that in the refrigerator to chill. Now I'm going to start on the filling. In a large bowl, I added 1 stick of softened butter. I forgot to let mine sit out, so I just cut it into slices so it would come to room temp a little quicker. And you're also going to add in 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, then give that a really good mix. I'm using a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple, but first make sure you drain out as much of that juice as possible. I'm using a spoon to kind of press down and squeeze out all that liquid. If not, that filling won't set well. Now you're going to add in only 3/4 of that crushed pineapple to the cream cheese mixture. The rest is going to be used for the topping. I'm also adding in 2 cups of powdered sugar. Then I'm going to use my electric mixer to mix that until it's well combined. You could mix this by hand, but that would give you a pretty good arm workout. And you do want to mix it very well so it's completely smooth. Now you're going to grab your graham cracker crust and pour it right on in. This mixture is delicious, and I bet you could also make this as a dip and use graham crackers to dip in it. Now you're just going to smooth that into an even layer, then set it to the side while we make up a quick topping. I'm just using that same bowl. I'm adding in that reserved pineapple from earlier, along with a small 3.4 ounce box of the instant vanilla pudding, and 8 ounces of whipped topping. Now you're going to give that a really good mix. And make sure that pudding mix gets well combined in there. Then you're going to add that mixture right on top. And by the way, if you're making this for a crowd, this recipe is very easy to double. That mixture is pretty thick, so I like to dollop it on and then use my offset spatula to spread it out. Now I'm going to top it off with those reserved graham cracker crumbs. Now this goes into the refrigerator to chill overnight. Now this dessert is a family favorite. It's easy to make and it's perfect for summer or any time of the year. And if you can, share this video with anybody that you think would love some no-bake dessert recipes, especially some easy ones. I really hope you enjoyed this video. You may also like these. Don't forget to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and I will see you in the next one.